Hi, I think the Tea Party is bad.
Oh no, why?
Because the Tea Party is racist.
How do you know?
Liberal journalists said they looked at the crowds and didn't like seeing so many white people.
They would probably prefer not to see any Tea Partiers at all.
Whatever they saw, it was bad.
Well, liberals don't like people who disagree with them.
Don't be ridiculous. We are much more sophisticated than that.
Do you think racism is evil?
Yes.
And you think the Tea Partiers are all racist? So everyone who disagrees with your politics must be evil.
That's just as well. If they were not evil, then I would have to listen to their ideas.
If the Tea Party is racist, why were they more likely to support candidates from minority groups?
I never said the racism was overt.
Oh.
Their racism is very subtle and visible and unconscious. But it pervades everything. You just need a liberal who specializes in this to interpret things.
This almost sounds mystical.
It's scientific. Liberal journalists saw white people in the crowds, therefore racism is why the Tea Party is against Obama.
Oh. I thought they opposed Obama because they disagree with all of his policies.
That's a coincidence.
Oh. What about all of the people who voted for Obama but who no longer support him?
This is why you need to ask a professional racism expert.
Like who?
Any liberal on television will do.
I was wondering why they acted that way.
Also, the Tea Party is racist because they believe things about Obama that aren't true.
On the bright side, they don't think he's a messiah.
Liberals don't think that, you're exaggerating.
How do you know you're not a racist?
Because I don't think so.
But you said racism has become invisible and unconscious.
I cannot be a racist. I support Obama.
I see. So he can absolve you of the sin of racism, and not believing in him makes you evil, but other than that you don't think of him as a messiah.
A lot of Democratic politicians can do that stuff. But the Tea Partiers are worse than evil. They're also old people.
If Tea Party members are all old, why are all of the young, rising stars in politics from the Tea Party?
There are some promising young Democrats too.
Really? Can you name one?
Barack Obama.
One of these days that man could be qualified to run for president.
It was time for a change.
Having an incompetent president doesn't sound like too much of a change.
The Tea Party is filled with extremists.
I thought they just wanted to stop the government from spending the country into oblivion.
That's extreme. Everyone knows in bad economic times, the government needs to spend more.
And what should they do in good economic times?
Spend more.
Don't you have to cut spending eventually?
No. When you cut spending, that means you hate children and poor people.
If we were cutting back to the level of spending under Clinton, doesn't your logic say Clinton hated children and poor people? Or if you wanted to double spending, someone else could say you hate the poor because they want to triple spending.
The actual amounts don't matter. They just need to keep going up.
Doesn't that mean government spending will approach infinity?
Why not? That's like the best number in the world.
Well, at least we would have plenty of money for defense and border security.
No. We would still need to cut all that stuff.
I guess infinity isn't as big as I thought.
The Tea Party is bad because they have lowered the level of our political discourse.
Is that why liberals use vulgarity when referring to the Tea Party?
It's only fair.
How so?
Because the Tea Party uses the term Obamacare.
What else would you call it?
The Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act of 2010.
I think I would prefer Obamacare.
No. That name is pejorative and insulting.
So Obama is so unpopular that attaching his name to a bill is insulting, just like referring to the Tea Party by the name of vulgar sex acts.
Yes. No. Well, maybe it's the care part that's offensive.
So you think the Tea Party is destructive because they refer to Obamacare as Obamacare?
No, but the Tea Party is very dangerous.
Have they killed anyone?
No.
Have they injured anyone?
No.
Have they destroyed anything?
No.
Do they litter?
No, they clean up after themselves after their protests are over.
It sounds like they are friendly to the environment. Why don't liberal protesters ever clean up after themselves?
Liberals are young and have better things to do. Picking up trash doesn't count as helping the environment.
What does?
Telling other people they should spend money on expensive energy alternatives.
I thought liberals didn't like energy companies.
That's different. The new ones say they were green.
So energy companies are evil, except if they call themselves green, in which case they can do no wrong?
That's a straw man argument. Nobody believes that. Wait, actually I do believe that.
Oh,
But it's a complicated issue. You can't reduce it to a sound bite.
you can speak at length if you want.
That still won't work. You just have to trust liberals to know what's best.
It seems like people's trust in liberals is running out.
That's not true. The Tea Party is fake. It's just AstroTurf funded by rich people, not a real grassroots movement.
If the Tea Party doesn't really exist, why did they vote in such large numbers?
They only existed at one time, but most of the time they don't.
Apparently quantum mechanics is needed to make sense of your views on the Tea Party.
Whether the Tea Party exists or not, they will no longer be a political force by 2012.
Why not?
Because otherwise it would be bad for Obama.
If the Tea Party is motivated by racism against Obama like you claim, doesn't that guarantee they will be a political force in 2012? Hello.
I'm still here. I'm just waiting to receive new talking points. They should answer all your questions.